Relax your mind and manifest everything you want. Stoic Philosophy Secrets. Subscribe to Stoic Pulse if you haven't. Now let me take you to a life-changing Stoics mindset. Close your eyes for a moment, not because you're tired, but because your mind has been running for too long. Too many thoughts, too many worries, too many things you cannot control. And yet, you keep chasing. You chase success, you chase peace, you chase validation. But what if I told you, the more you chase, the further everything moves away from you? The ancient Stoics understood something most people today have forgotten. They knew that everything you desire, peace, success, clarity, power, does not come from force. It comes from stillness. This is not motivation. This is mastery. And today, you are going to learn how to relax your mind and attract everything you've been chasing. Without desperation, without anxiety, without losing yourself. Let's be honest. Your mind is not always your friend. It overthinks. It replays the past. It fears the future. It tells you, you're not good enough. What if you fail? What if they reject you? And without realizing it, you obey. The Stoics believed something radical. You suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about that. Most of your stress has not even happened, yet your body reacts as if it's real. Your heart races. Your energy drains. Your confidence disappears. This is why you feel stuck. Not because life is against you, but because your mind is out of control. What you can control. What you cannot. That's it. But this simple idea changes everything. You cannot control other people's opinions, the past, the future, external events, but you can control your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. Now ask yourself, why are you spending so much energy on things you cannot control? Every time you worry about something outside your control, you lose power. Every time you return your focus inward, you gain it back. You've been taught to hustle, to force results, to grind endlessly. But here's the truth. Desperation repels, calm attracts. Think about water. The harder you try to grab it, the faster it slips away. But when you relax your hand, it stays. Life works the same way. The more desperate you are for something, the more tension you create. And that tension pushes it away. This is where most people fail. They want something so badly that they become emotionally dependent on it, and the moment you become dependent, you lose control. The Stoics practiced detachment, not because they didn't care, but because they understood something deeper. Attachment creates suffering. When you detach, you stop chasing. When you stop chasing, you become calm. When you become calm, you become powerful. Right now, your mind is conditioned for stress, but it can be retrained. Start with this. Observe your thoughts. Don't fight them. Don't judge them. Just watch. You'll begin to notice something strange. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of them. And once you realize that, everything changes. Manifestation is not magic. It is alignment. When your mind is chaotic, your actions are scattered. When your mind is calm, your actions become precise. And precise action creates results. This is the secret. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So before you chase anything, become calm. Before you try to control the world, control your mind, because everything you're looking for is already moving toward you. The moment you stop resisting it, there is a silent weight you carry every single day. Not in your hands, but in your mind. It shows up as worry. A quiet voice asking, what if things go wrong? What if I'm not enough? What if I lose everything? This is anxiety, and most people spend their entire lives trying to escape it, but the Stoics did something different. They didn't run from fear. They walked straight into it. And in doing so, they became free. Fear is not your enemy. It is a signal, a reaction, a story your mind creates. Think about it: most of the things you fear haven't happened, and many of them never will. Yet your mind plays them on repeat, like a movie you didn't choose to watch. The Stoics understood, we are more frightened than hurt. Fear is not reality, it is imagination, out of control. Now listen carefully, because this is one of the most powerful Stoic techniques ever practiced. Instead of avoiding fear, you face it. Ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? Not vaguely, not emotionally, but clearly. Break it down. If you fail, what happens next? If you lose something, what remains? If someone rejects you, do you disappear? You begin to see something powerful. You survive. No matter how uncomfortable the outcome is, you are still here. Still breathing, still capable. And suddenly, fear loses its grip. Anxiety comes from trying to control outcomes. But outcomes were never yours to control. You can control effort, you can control intention, but you cannot control results. And the moment you accept this, something shifts inside you. You stop forcing. You stop resisting. You stop overthinking. And for the first time, you feel light. Anxiety lives in the future. Regret lives in the past. But peace lives here. Right now, in this moment. Take a breath. Slowly, deeply. Nothing is wrong. Right now you are safe. Right now you are here. Right now. The Stoics trained themselves to return here. Again and again, because the present moment is the only place where power exists. Your emotions are powerful, but they are not always truthful. You may feel fear, but that doesn't mean you are in danger. You may feel doubt, but that doesn't mean you are incapable. The Stoics didn't eliminate emotions. They mastered them. They asked, is this thought useful? Is this feeling helping me, or hurting me? And if the answer was no, they let it go. Imagine a version of yourself that cannot be easily disturbed. No overthinking, no panic, no emotional chaos. Someone who faces challenges with calm, with clarity, with control. That is the Stoic mind. It doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means you become stronger. When you stop fearing outcomes, you start living freely. You take action. You speak boldly. You move without hesitation, not because you are fearless, but because fear no longer controls you. And this is where manifestation truly begins. Because a calm mind takes powerful action, and powerful action creates real results. So let go of the need to control everything. Let go of the fear that holds you back, because the life you want is not on the other side of anxiety. Peace is not something you find, it is something you build. Every day, every thought, every action, because the truth is, a calm mind doesn't happen by accident. It is trained, and the Stoics were masters of this training. Most people think discipline is restrictive. They think it takes away freedom. But the Stoics believed the opposite. Discipline is what creates freedom. Without discipline, your mind controls you. Your emotions control you. Your habits control you. But with discipline, you take control. You decide how you think. You decide how you act. You decide who you become. The first moments of your day shape everything that follows. Most people wake up and immediately lose control. They check their phone. They react to messages. They consume noise before they've even controlled their own mind. The Stoics did the opposite. They started the day with intention. When you wake up, do not rush. Do not react. Instead, pause. Take a deep breath, and remind yourself. Today, I will face challenges, but I will remain calm. This simple act builds inner strength. Your mind is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it becomes weak. Every day, you must challenge your thoughts. When negativity appears, don't accept it immediately. Question it, ask yourself, is this true? Is this useful? Is this within my control? Most of the time, it isn't. And when you stop feeding negative thoughts, they lose power. At the end of the day, most people distract themselves. But the Stoics reflected. Before sleep, ask yourself 3 simple questions. What did I do well today? What did I do wrong? How can I improve tomorrow? No judgment. No guilt, just awareness. Because awareness creates growth. Life will test you. People will annoy you. Situations will frustrate you. Things will not go your way. This is guaranteed. But here is the difference. Most people react emotionally. Stoics respond intentionally. Reaction is automatic. Response is controlled. And in that small space, between what happens and how you respond, that is where your power lives. Comfort is dangerous, not because it feels bad, but because it feels too good. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you weak. It keeps you average. The Stoics practiced discomfort, not to suffer, but to grow stronger. They would take cold baths, eat simple food, live with less. Why? To remind themselves, they don't need comfort to be strong. Motivation fades. It comes and goes. But discipline stays. You will not always feel like improving. You will not always feel focused. You will not always feel strong. But you act anyway, because that is what builds power. Not intensity, but consistency. There are 2 versions of you. The one you are today, and the one you could become. The difference between them is daily discipline. Every small action moves you closer or further away. So ask yourself, am I acting like the person I want to become? If not, change it right now. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. It is the decision to take control of your life. Because when your mind is disciplined, your actions become powerful. And when your actions become powerful, everything begins to align. There is a moment, right before you react. A split second, so small, most people never notice it, but in that moment, your entire life is decided. Because that is where your power lives. Most people believe their emotions are who they are. They say, I'm angry, I'm stressed, I'm anxious. But the Stoics saw it differently. You are not your emotions. You are the one experiencing them. And that means, you don't have to obey them. Something happens. Someone disrespects you. Plans go wrong. Life doesn't go your way. Your emotion rises instantly. Anger, frustration, fear. But then, there is a space. A space where you can choose. Most people react immediately. They shout, they panic, they regret. But the Stoic pauses. And in that pause, they take control. The pause is your weapon. It is simple, but not easy. Next time you feel overwhelmed, Do this. Stop. Say nothing. Do nothing. Take one slow breath. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. You'll notice something powerful. The emotion weakens, because emotions need reaction to grow. Without it, they fade. People will test you. They will say things, do things, act in ways you don't like. But their behavior is not in your control. Only your response is. The Stoics understood, if you are easily offended, you are easily controlled. Think about that. Every time someone triggers you, they control your state. But when you remain calm, you take your power back. Anger is not useless. It is energy, but uncontrolled anger destroys. It ruins relationships. It clouds judgment. It leads to regret. The Stoics didn't suppress anger. They redirected it, they turned it into focus, into discipline, into action, instead of reacting emotionally. They responded strategically. Your emotions come from your thoughts, not from the situation itself. It's not what happens, it's what you tell yourself about what happens. Two people can face the same situation and react completely differently. Why? Because of their interpretation. Change the meaning, and you change the emotion. Imagine this. No matter what happens, you remain calm. No matter what people say, you stay grounded. No matter how chaotic life becomes, you stay in control. This is not weakness. This is mastery, because true strength is not loud. It is controlled. Emotional control does not mean becoming cold, it does not mean ignoring your feelings. It means understanding them. Without being controlled by them. This is balance. And balance is power. Feel the emotion, but don't become it, observe it, but don't act blindly on it. When you master your emotions, something incredible happens. You become free. Free from overreactions. Free from regret. Free from emotional chaos. You no longer depend on others to feel at peace. Because your peace comes from within. So the next time life tests you, pause. Breathe. Choose your response. Because in that moment, you are shaping your future. And the more control you gain within, the more everything outside begins to align. You've learned to calm your mind. You've learned to control your emotions. You've learned to let go of fear. But now, there is one final step most people never take. Action. Because no matter how peaceful your mind becomes, without action, nothing changes. Manifestation. Let's be clear. Manifestation is not sitting still and wishing. It is not hoping the universe will deliver your desires. Manifestation is alignment between thought and action. When your mind is clear, your decisions become better. When your decisions become better, your actions become powerful. Most people fail because they don't know what they want. They say they want success, but they are unclear. And when you are unclear, your actions are scattered. The Stoics valued clarity. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? Not what others expect, not what looks impressive, but what matters to you. Clarity eliminates confusion. Clarity eliminates confusion, and once your path is clear, movement becomes easier. A calm mind is powerful, but it must lead to movement. Every day, take action. Even if it is imperfect, because action builds momentum, and momentum builds results. Perfection is a trap. It keeps you waiting, delaying, overthinking. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need perfect timing. You only need to start. The Stoics believed progress, not perfection. Every step forward is better than standing still. Opportunities are everywhere, but most people miss them. Why? Because they are not prepared. When you build discipline, you become ready. Ready to act. Ready to take risks. When preparation meets opportunity, success happens. Here is the paradox. You must take action, but not be attached to the outcome. Do your best. Give your effort. Because attachment creates pressure, and pressure destroys performance. When you are detached, you act freely. And when you act freely, you perform at your best. Most people wait. They wait for motivation. They wait for the right moment. They wait for certainty. But the Stoic acts, despite uncertainty. They move forward, even when afraid. Because they understand, action creates confidence, not the other way around. Success is not one big moment. It is small actions, repeated daily, every focused hour. Every focused hour, every disciplined decision, every moment of control, it all adds up over time. It becomes unstoppable. When your thoughts are calm, and your actions are consistent. Something powerful happens. Your life begins to align. You stop forcing things. You stop chasing everything. And instead, you move with clarity. And that is when things start. But by alignment. So take action, not with stress, but with calm confidence. Not with desperation, but with clarity. Because everything you want is built through what you do daily. And when your mind is steady, and your actions are aligned, nothing can stop you. After walking the long path of self-discipline, confronting the storms of life, and observing the fleeting nature of desire, you arrive at a place few truly know. Peace. This is not a peace that depends on the world being still. It is a peace that arises from within. A calm mind, untouched by the chaos outside. Cut to a montage of ordinary life. People rushing in cities, screens flashing notifications, storms raging. Then cut back to the meditating figure, serene amid the noise. Freedom begins when you no longer allow the external to dictate your internal state. The Stoics called it apatheia, a state where your mind is free from destructive passions, yet full of clarity, compassion, and purpose. Imagine a mind that cannot be shaken by insults, fear, or loss. A mind that is, at last, your own. To reach this freedom, you must let go of attachments that bind you. Not through force, but through understanding. Wealth, praise, anger, and fear, they are waves. You are the ocean, deep, vast, unmovable. When you let them pass without clinging, you experience a profound liberation that no external circumstance can take away. This is the ultimate mastery of life, to live with joy, not because the world is perfect, but because your mind is free. Every challenge becomes a teacher, every loss, a lesson. Every moment, an opportunity to live fully, without fear, without regret. True freedom is quiet. It does not shout or demand attention. It simply is, and in that quiet, you discover the truest power you will ever know, the power to control your mind, to shape your perception, to remain unshaken. Here, at last, is the peace that philosophers sought, sages cherished, and warriors admired. Here, at last, is your own. Subscribe to Stoic Pulse if you haven't, to get more wisdom and knowledge.